Hey guys, Shannon here from iCode School, and I just wanted to take a moment and share with you a little bit about my journey and what led to the creation of iCode School. You see, about 5 years ago, back in 2014, I was increasingly concerned about the amount of times that my kids were spending on screen. In particular, I was starting to get what I felt was a real screen addiction. I had 3 young kids at that point in time. They were 9, 5 and 3. I had a wife at home, Tam, who was, she wasn't working at that point in time. And I could see the negative effects of not only their screen usage on relationships and their agitation levels, but I could also see work as a digital marketing manager on 140 grand a year for Cotton On, the changing nature of the workforce and the impacts that digital technologies and automation was having. And I genuinely felt that my kids weren't getting the skills that they needed to be future ready. So there was this combination of factors. One, there was a proliferation of screens in the home and they were on it way too much. And the workforce was changing as a result of technology as well. And I felt the skills that my kids needed, both socially, emotionally, and I guess those academic skills to make sure they're future ready as well, weren't necessarily being delivered. So this set me off on a little bit of a journey. Now, at the end of the day, as a parent, all I really wanted from my kids was for them to be balanced, well-adjusted, understanding of the positive and negative connections between when they're using technology and making sure they're using it the right way. I wanted them to be creative when they were using it, not just always using it for gaming as well. And I guess from a parenting perspective, what I want to feel like I was doing the right thing by them. I want to feel like I was preparing them for the future. I wasn't failing them in any way. Because I honestly see my role as a parent, there's schools and everything else about, but I need to provide my kids with the skills they need as well. And I need to take a leadership role in that. I didn't want to fail them, and actually I felt like I was a little bit with the amount of time they're on screens, because the more I looked around for solutions, the harder I actually found it to find any. Because it became quickly apparent to me that we as parents of kids, or about 5, 6, 7 years ago, we're the very first parents ever to have to parent kids in this digital age, this age of devices, this age of screens. And there were no real reference points as to how to do that. So I started looking around, reading stacks of books, researching online, and at the end of the day, that amplified my concern, I guess, that the kids didn't have the skills they needed, and that I needed to do something about that. So the big epiphany moment for me came when I went to a seminar at Geelong Performing Arts Centre, and I went and seen it, and it was a guy by the name of, trying to remember it now, Stephen Japon, that was his name, Stephen Japon, and he did it on the effects of gaming and how to raise safe kids online. I thought, interesting topic, I'll get along to that. And he said one thing right at the end of that seminar that really resonated with me, and that was, if you're going to teach your kids one skill for the future to set them up for success, teach them coding. Now, I'd been exposed to coding in my role as a digital marketing manager, knew a little bit about it, but I thought, I started to explore that a little bit further. And I actually started to realise that coding's not just a specific skill that you teach them to learn how to code and program a computer, or an app, or a game. It actually teaches kids how to think. It teaches them problem-solving skills. It teaches them collaboration skills. It teaches them computational thinking skills. So by teaching kids to code, you actually teach them so much more. And that was a penny drop moment for me. I thought, holy crap, this is what I need to teach my kids. I need to teach them how to code, but I also more importantly, need to teach them the skills around that to set them up for the future. So essentially, that led me in, 2014, to quit my job, $140,000 a year job as a digital marketing manager, and I went back and retrained as a teacher. I thought, I need to teach my kids, but I need to know how to teach. But I also thought, if my kids need this, which they do, so do a lot of other kids, so do heaps of other kids. And the more I chatted to parents, the more they shared my same view and same concerns. So I went back and retrained as a teacher, quit my job, went back to earning 20 grand a year, working in a fruit shop for my brothers, which is a bit of it's not exactly great for the ego, but my drive and passion and burn for this was so big that was a small hit to take. And so 20 grand a year, so that was an interesting conversation between my wife and I, Tam, who is an incredible person and backs me 100% and was very understanding and then happy to come on this journey as well. So I did that, lost the money. I gave up a lot of money and income there to do that. And then the following year after that, it was 2015, I got a job as a graduate teacher, which again, I think that pays about 70 grand a year, give or take. So, about half my wage normally. but learnt the skills that I needed to become a good teacher, to be able to educate kids and be able to give them the skills that they need. So over the course of the last couple of years, I launched iCode School on a part-time basis, with my own kids coming initially to do doing some of the learnings and the courses, and then some friends' kids, and then it's grown from there essentially. And that's what's basically led me to open, I'll just give you a little quick preview around here, this studio space here in Geelong. You see a little bit of a shot down there, where we actually develop and give kids 21st century skills to make sure that they're future ready. You know, and some of the great things for me, some of the great achievements for me, from a personal perspective for my own kids, has been that they are far more well adjusted when they're using technology. They understand the connections between healthy usage, unhealthy usage, and how to balance that out. Are they perfect? No chance. They're kids. They're not going to be perfect, and I don't expect them to be perfect. But I'm really happy with where they're at. And from a wider perspective of the kids that are coming here, I am super, super pleased with where they're at and what they're learning and what they're achieving. They're increasing their confidence, they're increasing their socialisation skills. Yeah, they can code, that's a great byproduct, and that's going to really be a handy skill to have in their future. But it's all these subsequent skills, or skills they're learning as part of that. Computational thinking, where they take a really big problem and they break it down into smaller pieces. And you know what, I'm also really happy for the parents that come along and bring their kids here. They invest, they support their kids, and I know, and I think they know as well, that they are giving their kids those 21st century skills, and they know as a parent they're doing all they possibly can to make sure their kids are future ready. So that's a little bit about my story, how iCode School came about. I hope it's been of some benefit, and I will chat to you guys soon.